Hey guys, welcome to gig log number 2. Tonight I have a speaking engagement that I'm running sound and video for, and then after that, later in the evening, I have a school dance. An interesting choice of equipment. If you've ever seen these on Amazon, if you've ever wondered what the heck you could use them for, I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna bore you with the load-in scene, so I'll just pop the camera open once I get there and we'll get to it. This is one of the many good things about having a wife. Sweetie, is this a look?
Yeah.
It's a look. So I just got in the room, everything's loaded up. Like I said, I'm not gonna bore you guys with the whole load-in sequence, whatever. Over here we got an air wall. That's gonna come down. This is the space. There's our stage, obviously, secondary stage. We're gonna put a 12 by 12 foot screen up there and probably knock the bottom off, make it 16 by 9. Yeah. Well, my awesome crew and I, right over there, just got everything loaded in. Let me show you a little bit what we got. This is the norm, what I bring out to larger or mid-sized to larger events. That's my spares box. It's got all my little doodads, couplers and adapters, you name it, it's probably in there. This guy right here is a Sharp Conference Series projector. You could probably pick these up for about 80 bucks, 4,000 lumens, 2 lamps inside of this thing. If one goes out, you're still good. And it's pretty darn bright for what it is. Wired mics. I use some knockoff SM58s, some China stuff, they work great. This is just a signal wire box. Then we got AC, HDMI cable, we got a switcher and a few other cool little doodads in there. These lights are the Rain 56 cans that I modified to run off of Wi-Fi and a router. We'll find a good spot for these. Got some nice crushed velvet drape, use that somewhere. A couple Chauvet uplights, Slim Par, 64 RGBAs. This is a homemade plate for my that projector over there. It's just a little bit heavier duty than something you buy online. And I'm cheap. I got the onstage stand to support that. I am using the GTD series microphones this time because I love them. Got a little surprise in there for you. These two guys are just phenomenal. These are the IQ-15s from Turbo Sound. I'm gonna use those as fill on the sides. And I got my workhorses right here, my EV EKX-15Ps. Those are gonna go right in the center. Got some uplights going around the room. We're gonna put some pipe and drape right there. Got a nice little Source 4 hitting the podium. And I just set this up. I got all 6 of those bad boys on this bar here, controlled by Magic Home, of course. I got it all hooked up to a little router so I can hit it right from the tech table if I want to change it. I think for now I'm just going to light the floor, put a little color on the floor. If we need light on the walls or the ceiling or anywhere else, I'll just do that the day of, see what it looks like. Well, round 1 done. Here we go on round 2. Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of my little adventure. Yesterday I set up the sound at this church for a speaking engagement. We'll see what happens. So I learned something today. When you're mixing gear, especially if you're mixing gear with other people's stuff, you not only have to make sure yours works with their stuff, you gotta make sure their stuff works. These things on uplights, floodlights. They're not uplights, but that's how I use them. These things are 100 watts. Change it to whatever color you want, and it's got a 120-degree beam angle. So instead of lighting like what you see over there, straight up and down, it's got quite the spread. You could wash whole walls like this. If you want to get creative, you could even throw a piece of tape down here, make different patterns, and be a little bit more unique. Just finished loading up the car. This was a learning experience. You know, sometimes you nail it, and then sometimes it takes a lot more work to nail it. Event not sponsored by Starbucks, but wish it was sponsored by Starbucks. Product placement. We are good to go. Gotta get home and help my wife with the boys. I am super critical of most everything I do. After every event, I always think, what could I have done better? And there was a lot of opportunities for me to have those kind of thoughts from this event. Definitely a learning experience. For one, I forgot my coffee and I gotta go get it. The second thing is, if you're mixing your gear with someone else's, make sure their gear works and make sure your gear works well with theirs. We had a laptop of the client's poop out on us right in the middle of a presentation. We had the drape in front of the screen fall off on not just one side, but both sides at different points. Someone bumped into my laptop and it fell on the ground. Luckily, the Asus Republic of Gamers G7 5e is a very robust machine. It survived. I did bash in the power connection, but it's still solid and it's still rocking and rolling. I'll inspect it when I get home and determine whether or not I'm going to keep using it like it is, or if I got to throw some money at it to get it fixed. We'll see. I know some of you are thinking, oh, well, you know what, if you would have had some planning beforehand or met with the client and had a deeper discussion, some of this stuff wouldn't happen. I don't think that's the case this time. You know, sometimes stuff just happens and you got to roll with it. You got to put out the fires as they come. If you're experienced, you have a wealth of knowledge that you can draw from and figure out the best route to extinguish that raging bonfire. All in all, it's all good. Everyone was happy. Had a lot of people come up and say the sound was awesome. And it was, not to toot my own horn, but it was really good. Aside from the little hiccups that we had with the other equipment that I had to patch in. But I don't like to be negative. I really don't like to be negative. So, the positive thing about this is it was a learning experience. And I feel like I've ran into these issues before and probably should have learned from it before, but it did open up the door to some new business opportunities. I met with a few people there that could expand my horizons as far as the speaking engagements go, and maybe even get a few DJ dance parties in there too.